Good morning, everybody. How we doing? Sammy United People's TV here with another live show. I tell you what, I saw it in the comments there before. It was like, it's just nice coming into these shows right now. Couple of weeks of it. I could get used to this. Liverpool last week, Brighton this week. Fingers crossed. Forest next week. And then 2 weeks after beating Spurs. 5 on the bounce. It's not too much to ask. I mean, it feels like it probably is. But anyway, we're going to be having a conversation about the latest United news. I'm going to speak about Elliot Anderson. I kind of feel the stories that I'm going to cover are just coming out because we're playing Forest on Saturday, if I'm being completely honest. But I want to run through them. We did our first scouting video on Carlos Baleba last week, and I told you what was coming this week. We've already been working on it. Our scouting video on Elliot Anderson. That'll be dropping on Thursday. So we'll speak about that. We'll run through more youngsters who are in training with the first team. We'll also speak about Sesko, Lammens, and I'll read through your comments, as I always do. Let's see who's here from the mods and the member gang. Can I say hello to Toby? Thank you very much. You gifted him 5 memberships. Alex, you're saying Footy with an Edge. Very big fan of United People's TV. I saw his video with The Athletic. I subscribe to him now. I like level-headed United fans. Anybody who can, I suppose, dive into the right stories. I suppose cover United in a way that I feel the United should be covered. We've got Alex, good morning to you. Steph, good morning to you. Carl, you're there as well. JC and Gungshi. Full house, Josh, you're there as well. We've got Saeed. We've got really annoying usernames again. Why does YouTube keep doing this? I'm going to keep complaining until they change it back. And now they've randomly changed it back again. So in a week or two, they'll probably shift them back to the good ones. Very annoying. I know. Fran, good morning to you. Somebody there at the start of the show, where was the name? I want to see that. It caught my eye and I want to call him out. In a good way. Jason saying, good morning from Texas, Sam. Thanks for accompanying me on so many early morning runs. I appreciate the show and community. Well, good morning to you. I hope you're running right now. I wouldn't want to go running to my voice. That'd be annoying. But at least I'm in Texas. It's the closest I've got so far. Because I love barbecue. Now, someone down there, RZN, has asked a question about, Elliot Anderson, Adam Wharton. Choose one, right? I don't know where this stands at this moment in time. I think we did this last week. I'm going to keep doing it, right? There's a poll. Get your answers in. Wharton, Baleba, or Anderson at this moment in time. I think this can kind of, if you had asked that question at the start of the season, after the summer, it would have been overwhelmingly in favour of Baleba. I imagine that shifted quite a bit. My dream signing going into the summer was Adam Wharton. Has my position changed? I'll tell you what my position has slightly shifted on. Elliot Anderson's really impressed me. Right. Now, I want to start off today's show with just a really, really horrendously sad bit of news. I'm not sure if you saw this post yesterday, but this is from Reece Bennett on his own Instagram account. And his dad took his own life at the weekend. And that's his post for his dad. And it's just, if anybody's ever been hit by that S word, it's horrible. It's affected me, and it affects a lot of people. And I think it's pretty brave of Reece to... Is it pretty brave? I don't know the right way to describe it. It's just something that hits home when you see it. And what he said down there, it being a permanent solution to a temporary problem, please speak up. It's why I will always advocate for mental health. You know, the videos that I've done myself where I spoke out, because I know they may have helped me, but I know they were going to help other people and the hundreds of people that reached out to me. So if you're ever in a situation where you've got thoughts in your head, I just encourage you to speak out, is what I would say. And that's a real hard-hitting example of it. and how maybe not speaking out can lead to things. Yeah, Alex, exactly what you're saying down there. Talking about it is hard, and that's why I wanted to cover that. Reece Bennett was, I believe, was Reece Bennett our captain with the FA Youth Cup winning team from a couple of years ago. He's a Manchester United academy player. And then Jonathan asking what happened. Go and check out Reece Bennett's Instagram account. You'll find out, I suppose, more information there. Now, we move on to football news. And I saw this yesterday. I'm sure you saw it as well. Brendan Rodgers leaving Celtic. I think Celtic are 8 points behind Hearts. I think Rangers have... I don't know what's going on at Rangers. Can you tell me the last club to win the Scottish Premier League that wasn't Celtic or Rangers? And who was their manager? Answers in the chat. I think all know exactly who it is, but that's the level of dominance that there has been in the SPL. What is it, like 40-odd years? I think it's 40-odd years. We all know who it was. It was the man himself. It was Aberdeen and Fergie. That's the last time that a club that wasn't Celtic or Rangers won the top division. And Hearts are 8 points at the top of the league, so it'd be cool if it happened again this year. But I always love that stat. Anyway, should probably just go and get Postecoglou in. I'm sure he's free. Right. Let's cover everything that we spoke about yesterday and let's talk about today. Thank you, everybody who left a comment, who listened to the latest episode of the pod. I apologise about my camera issues on that one. I was trying out a different lens because this lens I've got on here is really... It's a really wide lens, but I zoom it in on here so it fits the frame. But when we're recording the pod, because it's a static lens, it doesn't have any zoom on it. Hence why I tried a different camera. I'll probably switch back to this one. But thank you all for listening. The next episode is going to be going out on Thursday. New episodes twice a week, Monday and Thursday. I hope you're going to build it into your own habits and your rhythms because we're going to try and be as consistent as we possibly can. So that went out yesterday, as did this video. And it wasn't a video saying, oh, United are going to finish second, or we might be in a title charge. It's just like expectations going into the season. Well, the expectations of Omar Barada was top 6. That was the ambition. And a lot of United fans thought it was questionable. Even going into the start of the season, they thought it was questionable because of the summer that Liverpool had, the fact that City were going to be better, the fact that Chelsea, they signed about 400 players. Arsenal are going to be up there. It's going to be tough for United to break into that top 6. And then we had the start that we had. And it just felt like it was a distant possibility. And now 3 wins later... Because it's not just the momentum shift of United, it's the momentum shifts of the other clubs as well. Liverpool losing 5 out of 6. Chelsea, up and down. Spurs, strong start under Thomas Frank, up and down. City, very fallible. A top 6 finish, not even a top 6 finish, but a top 5 finish, I think, gets Champions League football this year. And it really is. It's a genuine possibility. It could actually happen. And that's why I wanted to do that video yesterday. I think like the ambition of this season, really, if you're thinking about it, I think it always was Champions League football. Madhouse is saying it's still early days. Man, it is early days. Absolutely. That's why I'm not saying that this is definitely happening. But right now that it feels like it feels like a very strong possibility if we can just continue what we're doing. Like, don't look at what other teams are doing, right? Always keep an eye on it. That's what I would encourage the players to do. But us as fans, we can see what's going on in the league. If Liverpool was still like 9 points clear at the top and City weren't dropping points, then I would think that, oh, yeah, we've improved and we've increased. But, the other teams are sort of running away with it. They're not now. We're absolutely keeping pace. What, are we above Liverpool? Above, same points as City, above Liverpool? 6 points off top, but we're not looking there. Arsenal will slip up. They absolutely will. I know that. But it's just refreshing. Bloody hell, it's refreshing. To have 3 wins on the spin and to feel like you're taking a step forward and then, what do you mean another step forward? Another step forward. And then Forest is next. Let me see what you're saying down here. Johnny's saying we should try Mark Gahey on a free for sure. I think somebody mentioned that before. It feels like he's already chosen Liverpool. Don't quite know. It may well be worth a try if he's leaving on a free. It's better than 15th. Yeah, that kind of goes without saying. John's saying, is everyone else okay? I've got no sound. You know what you need to do, dude? Refresh YouTube. It's always strange that happens to some people. But normally refreshing YouTube fixes most errors that you have. The likes of Sunderland and Bournemouth are bound to slip up. Like Sunderland have, they've surprised everybody. They did have a good summer, but still they've surprised everybody. Bournemouth are just a very good team. I think probably Bournemouth has got to be the biggest surprise of the season, isn't it? Because they lost. If you look at the list of the players that Bournemouth lost, they lost Howson, they lost their left back, I think they lost their keeper. Did they lose their captain as well? I might be making that up. I swear Bournemouth lost like 3 out of their starting back 4. I think so. Anyway, so I say Bournemouth is the biggest surprise. Did you see the reports from, I think it was Jason Burt in the Telegraph, saying that United had a 50 mil bid for Semenyo rejected at the start of the summer? I think I remember seeing that. But I think that happened over the weekend when I was in Manchester, so I wasn't really able to look into it properly. Nor was I able to actually look into, nor we've had a conversation about this. Bruno Fernandes has got like a £56 million release clause. I don't know where that detail came from. But it turns out, I think, that any club outside the Premier League, Bruno's got a 56 million release clause. That's less than I thought it was going to be. Schwab saying the real test will come with the December, January fixtures. I disagree with that, man. It's just like shifting, and I'm not saying that you're just doing this, but in general, it's what people do. Shifting goalposts. Oh, the real test will come at Anfield. We've done that. The real test is going to come against Brighton. Okay, well, we've done that. Wow, actually, the real test is going to come in December, January. And then we're going to get through that period. You know what? The real test is going to be the running. That's what I mean. Like they just keep shifting forward until you win the league. And then when you win the league, you go, the real test is, can you hold the league for 2 seasons in a row? United's real test started after Brentford. And 1 game at a time, we're just knocking them down. Real test is AFCON when Mbumo leaves. So I mean, there's just shifting goalposts. And people very much do that with United. Neville saying no, Angelo's still an option, so I voted for Wharton. Let me see what the poll's saying so far. We're going to be speaking about Elliot Anderson probably in about 5 minutes or so. 56% of you are saying Wharton so far. 21 are saying Baleba and 23% are saying Anderson. So a little bit more than you are now saying Anderson ahead of Baleba. And you're saying the real test is coming week by week. And this is something that I could go back through Ruben Amorim's last few press conferences for sure. And how much he keeps repeating that. Next week, please just focus on 1 game. Don't talk about what's coming after that. Because as soon as you start thinking about the long-term targets, you lose focus of the short-term ability to get there. And that's a good thing. So while I don't think that the players will be sitting there going, oh, well, maybe Champions League football next year. I think we can look at that as fans, we can look at that as an ambition now. And this man, I really enjoyed seeing, I can't remember who else I was enjoying seeing this with early this season. Who was it with? Can't remember who. But it feels like United fans are coming out swinging and defending Sesko. I don't particularly. This the odd. We spoke about it yesterday. Might do a video about it tomorrow. Not really sure if we want to give it too much airtime, so probably not. But I don't particularly think Sesko needs defending. I don't really know where any sort of narrative. Well, we know where it came from. It came from Gary Neville. But I'll tell you what my lunchtime video is going to be on today, and I'm looking forward to doing this one. I really am. I've waited a long time for United to get a summer transfer window right. And I remember being in the chat with all of you guys and girls and saying I thought it was a good summer. Who was it after the summer? Somebody was trying to suggest that it was like a 2 or 3 out of 10 window because we didn't sign a midfielder. And I'm like, why do I nibble on this performative nonsense? We had a good summer. It's not capped in hindsight saying that. What we didn't see in the first few games of this season was the strategy working. But you're starting to see it now. 5 out of our last 7 goals that we've scored have been scored by Sesko, Cunha and Mbeumo. We've won 3 games in a row, and they're the only 3 games that our new goalkeeper has started. It's just, it's extremely refreshing to see Liverpool going out and spunking 400 mil and seemingly winning and then none really of their signings are settling in whatsoever. You look at Arsenal and Gyökeres. Now, they're top of the league, but it's certainly in spite of Gyökeres, who is really struggling. And then you look at United signings. And Mbeumo is the most obviously settled in terms of the output he's bringing, but I think Sesko looks pretty good. And remember, at the start, I think his first game was against Grimsby, didn't take a penalty, questions asked, took him a couple of games to score his first goal, then he scored. And Cunha, we haven't needed to see that goal against Brighton to know that he was impacting the team, but he's got that goal too. It's a video I'm looking forward to doing because I've seen my football club waste so much money, and despite any potential promise and optimism about signings, quickly gets swallowed up by those signings not delivering, which is not what we're seeing this season. What are you saying down here? Miyaku saying, I don't think we emphasise enough how great it is that we've scored 8 goals in the last 3 games. That was the plan all along. That was the strategy. Simply just outscore the opposition. I know we're not going to have the element of control, but we can't afford to bring more goals into the Premier League and sort the midfield in the same summer. We'll try for Carlos Baleba. Surprised us all. No, your price was too high. United did well to do that. Did well to walk away. Alex is saying if Wilcox does another summer next year, like last summer, we don't need to worry. I found it odd at the time. And again, this isn't Captain Hindsight speaking, but I found it odd at the time that there were some United fans that were suggesting it was like a 3 out of 10 window, simply because we didn't sign a midfielder. It was just an over-exaggerated truth. I don't think it was a perfect window by any stretch of the imagination. And the fact that we didn't sign a midfielder, that wouldn't have been part of my strategy. I've said that. I thought that United, after Cunha and Mbeumo, rather than signing Sesko, should go for a central midfielder. I thought that would have made us a better team. Am I upset that Sesko's here, though? No. Am I seeing Casemiro finding some form that I didn't know whether he still had in his locker? Yep. Is Bruno? Nah. Bruno is a central midfielder. I'll never really love Bruno, an attacking midfielder. That's why I love him. Let's see what you're saying down here in the chat. Any news on the Butcher, Sam? Can't wait to see him back in this team. As far as we know, we should be seeing Martinez in a matchday squad before I think, the international break. So we've got Spurs, we've got Forest and Spurs. Spurs on the 8th of November. I would say we'll see Martinez playing for United again before the end of November. We don't know whether that's going to be before the international break or after it, but I think it'll be at some point in November. Someone down there saying everyone knows your midfield was a problem and was judging Amorim for not adjusting, but the way he tweaked his tactics to win those midfield battles is praiseworthy. And players performing as well. It's part of it. It's kind of always been part of it. Let me see what you're saying down here in the chat. Sam, did you notice Arsenal signed a goalkeeper every season 3 summers back to back? No. But there's no point wallowing and waiting. It's a bit like when, who was it? Pep signed, was it Claudio? What's his name? Claudio Bravo. And then sacked him off. Who was it? Was it bringing Joe Hart? I don't remember who it was. Was it Edison? Either way. No. What are you saying down here in the chat? Sam, imagine if United go on a 10-game run. Well, I don't think we're going to go on a 10-game run. When was the last time we won 10 games in a row? Bloody hell. Somebody find me that stat. That's going to be a long-ass time ago. Onana owes to make Cameron lose so Brian come back. You're saying that Onana's going to make Cameron lose so Brian and Boomer will come back early. That'll be nice. It's probably the best thing Onana would have done in a United shirt if he does that. Al Schwab, you saying that you saw he meant for Sunderland and Bournemouth that December, January fixtures. But kind of what I've said there, like people will just move the goalpost with United anyway. Anyway, let me just make you laugh. Look at this. Football is a savage. Is football a more savage sport than other sports? In terms of like ribbing rivals, in terms of tribalism, in terms of just taking the piss out of rivals when they're not having a good time. Was it happening in other sports? I just don't have visibility. But that cracked me up. Aiden Heaven came off the bench, made his league debut. It says there 2 games. Was that Aiden Heaven's second appearance? I thought that was Aiden Heaven's first appearance this season. Did he get like a couple of minutes somewhere else? He must have got a couple of minutes somewhere else. Anyway, it's his pass that went through to Mbeumo for United's 4th goal. Someone down there saying it happens in all the sports. By the way, it's just nice to be on the other side of it. The amount of times that I've been really exhausted over these last few years with how much crap I've had to take and how little crap I've been able to give out. It's nice for the shoe to be on the other foot for a little bit. Grimsby, is that when he played? Someone saying he came on against Fulham. All right, so maybe that was his second appearance of the season. But look, let's move on to speak about the headline of today's show. Elliot Anderson, as I said, for me looking at this and this story coming out from Florian Plettenberg in Sky Sports Germany, I'm probably looking at this with a really cynical eye, because I am. But I'm only doing that because I've done the same thing. Me and the lads in the team, we did our research a while ago and we were thinking, like, what would be good videos for United fans? What would they enjoy? And we realised that we're playing Brighton and then we're playing Forest the week after. And we'd always had that scouting series that we wanted to do. So what we did is we planned it so that we released the Carlos Baleba video in the build-up to the Brighton game, because we knew that United fans would probably be more interested to find out a bit more about Carlos Baleba ahead of us playing them, in the same way that we're going to be releasing this video on Thursday ahead of the Forest game, because I know that probably Elliot Anderson is going to be a conversation more so in this week. And it kind of feels like this is what this is. Like they've taken a look at the fixtures. United playing Forest. Okay, why don't we just let's drop this here. Good time to drop this. This is what they're saying. Florian Plettenberg. United and Newcastle are just 2 of many top clubs closely monitoring Elliot Anderson. Their interest has already been registered. Forest are aware, key player, understand for a transfer in the summer. A fee of around 100 to 120 million is currently being demanded. There is no release clause. Wawa. Weewa. Fitz, you're saying, is Elliot Anderson really a £100 million player? If that's the going rate nowadays, how much would prime Ronnie be worth? Remember when Ronaldo went, it was a world record at the time. We all thought it was a killer deal. And you saw what he did at Real Madrid, you're like, ended up being a bargain. 100. You know what's quite ironic about how people try to suggest, even when United were at their prime, that we bought the league? I think it was only like 3 times in the 90s that we were the top spenders compared to other clubs around us. United haven't spent 100 mil on a player yet. Liverpool have done it. Arsenal have done it. City have done it. Who else has done it? Anyone else done it? Chelsea have done it. We've not done it. United still haven't paid £100 million for a player yet. And I don't think that player is going to be Elliot Anderson. Now, of course, this will simply be... It's always part of the conversation and the debate. I think it's genuinely hilarious that these sorts of numbers are being bandied around, but it's also part and parcel of the Super League of the Premier League. There's no way that £100 million is going to be what Elliot Anderson goes for. Paul Pogba was the closest I think we got. Someone down there, I think it was 89 million, wasn't it? Obviously, if you adjust it for inflation, sure. But I'm not adjusting for inflation. I'm saying right now, we've not spent 100 million on a player. Yeah, someone down there saying, I can't see Anderson going back to Newcastle. Man, if I was Newcastle, I would be so pissed. I'd be so pissed at PSR. To a certain degree. But they also kind of balls up their own finances. So, part and parcel. Because Elliot Anderson left for 35 million and joined Forest. And then Yakubu Minte, who was easily Brighton's most dangerous player. And I actually quite like him at the club. Both of those left so they could balance their books from a PSR perspective. What is your take on Elliot Anderson? Like, what do you think is a realistic price point? Don't come in and say like 30, 40 mil because he joined Forest for 35 million and this is a significantly better player. His stock is a lot higher. So 35 million was how much he was signed for by Forest. I think realistically, probably looking in the 60, 70 mil. Let me do that as a poll, actually, right? So we go down here, we see the results of this one. 1,200 votes are in. 56% of you are saying Wharton and 22% are saying Anderson. Let me see how much do you think? How much do you think? Bloody hell, can't type. Microphone's in the way. Anderson is worth. I used to be able to touch type much better. I remember I went for a data entry job when I was like, I don't know, 18. That's when I worked in a call center. Everyone's got to do their time in call centers. All working in like a shop. I never worked in a bar though. Let's go that. And I didn't get a data entry job. I got like 96% accuracy, but there was some twat who got like 97% accuracy. He got the job ahead of me. Right. Start poll. There you go. Second poll in. So, how much do you think he's worth? Someone saying a Forest player being worth 100 mil is nuts. I don't particularly think where... I don't really think... I suppose to a certain extent it does impact the value of the player. But Declan Rice leaving West Ham. That was a 100 mil plus player. Enzo Fernandez after the World Cup. I mean, that was peak hype and peak price. Moises Caicedo leaving Brighton for over 100 mil. Isak going from Newcastle to Liverpool. Yeah, well, that was on paper the best striker in the league. What are the ones that they've done? Verts. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh too much. Right, let me see what you're saying down here in the chat. Doubt we get him for less than 80 mil, says Darren. He's probably the most complete young midfielder around right now. Wayne saying he's not worth 100 mil being quoted. John saying never did a shop or a Saturday job ever. You lived the dream, man. I remember I worked in a car wash. I used to get 20 quid for an 8-hour shift. And that was cold. I got sacked from a bakery as well. Can't remember whether I ate the food or man, a woman who ran that, she was pissed. She was angry. But I wouldn't pay 30 mil for him, says Carlos. It's certainly something that having watched a bit more of him and learned a bit more about him, I'm becoming more and more impressed by Elliot Anderson, if I'm being completely honest. I think if you look at the three profiles and you look at Baleba, you look at Wharton, and you look at Anderson, I would say of the three, Elliot Anderson is probably the most well-rounded. Like, Adam Wharton to me is your passer, your dictator, your tempo setter, your Carrick style player. Carlos Baleba, when he's on form and when he's firing, he is incredible out of possession, but also in possession, very good at driving with the ball at his feet. Adam Wharton looking for the passes. Carlos Baleba's like, sod that, I'll run through it myself. And he's the progressor. Elliot Anderson, kind of a bit of everything. It's not to say he's as good as Adam Wharton with his progressive passing, but you'll see all the stats. It's very impressive when you compare Elliot Anderson to Baleba, to Wharton, to any other midfielder in the Premier League this season. It's impressive. And I think that's probably what the research has shown me. I need to watch this lad a little bit more. Someone down there saying no one is worth 100 mil after seeing Wirtz and Isak. I mean, some players are worth over 100 mil. The risk that comes with said outlay is huge, but I don't think there's any chance that Forest get 100 to 120 mil. I suppose part of that is going to be competition. If Liverpool are in for a midfielder like Anderson and City are in, and we kind of know that both will be, then that will drive the price up. Demand. Des saying, Sam, with all due respect, your scouting is starting to scare me. Well, in a good or a bad way? What, in a way that it's going to be Onana V2? We're going to try our best to... These videos are not designed to completely overhype. I think Onana got overhyped. I learned my lesson on that one. These videos are more designed to just give you a full summary, maybe with as little opinion in it as possible, just presenting everything to you so you can understand, because it's hard to watch. We're watching United 24/7. I can't watch every Forest game to see how Elliot Anderson is playing. That's what these videos are there for. Let me see what you're saying in the poll. So we've got 500 votes are in. 45% of you are saying 50 to 60 mil. 41 are saying 60 to 70. 13% are saying 70 to 80. And 1% of you are saying 80 mil plus. So I agree with 41% of you. I think 60 to 70 is probably where United will try and go for. It's not to say that they'll get him, but I think they might try it. And type yes or no in the chat. Don't have to name names. Do you think United will go after a midfielder in January? Do you think we'll bring forward a plan for the summer and try and execute it in January? Let me know. And you're saying it's still risky with no proven track record. Baleba was Jesus a few months ago. The figures are insane. I want experience for 100 mil plus. I don't know what determines 100 mil plus, but if Alexander Isak, Premier League proven, ready, experienced, boom, there, guaranteed. No, never mind. Never mind. Hugo Ekitike looks a significantly better player for Liverpool than Alexander Isak does. So it's not even experience guarantees you. Man, it's hard to get guaranteed. There is no guaranteed transfer in football. As far as United are concerned, I suppose we just chose correctly. Even Premier League proven doesn't guarantee you a successful transfer, and Isak is showing that. Going down here in the chat, thank you very much, everyone, for getting involved. I always like how engaged it. I hope you enjoy it too. I try and make it the most engaging, interactive live show I possibly can. We've got 21 is coming, great username. Seeker, MUFC 93, Sing, Dynasty. We've got Sheriffs and Kid Nice. You're all saying yes, you think that we will. I can really see United doing it. I suppose it all depends on the finances, right? Yeah, Smitty's saying he had no preseason. Dude, it's the 28th of October. There's no way you'll give there's absolutely sweet FA chance that I'm accepting, Isak's not had a preseason. When it's a 150 mil player, how much it was, 125, British record, Premier League proven. Yeah, I know he's going to take some games to get up to speed, but yeah, all right, mate, calm down. It's just not working right now. At all. Neither is Wirtz. It's 9 games in, so you honestly can't judge anyone yet. Screw that. The amount of times that our players have been judged, I'm putting pressure elsewhere. That's what other clubs do to us. That's why the pressure is so up to the nth degree in the Premier League. Screw that. Anyway, Elliot Anderson is one to watch. And we'll be watching him this weekend. And you'll be able to watch the video on him on Thursday. That's going to be when we're aiming to release it, okay? And it's just going to be a follow-up. It's not a follow-up. Second part of the series. We did Carlos Baleba first. We're doing Elliot Anderson second. Then I'll tell you what else we've got coming up in the series after that. We're going to be doing Adam Wharton. Me and the team really want to take a look at Bouadi from Lille. The 18-year-old who kind of, to me, feels like he's in the position Lenny Yoro was before United signed him. So we'll see on that. And this is a little bit random. Again, Florian Plettenberg just seems to have United's number this week. Bringing out reports on this. Saying that United are in concrete negotiations over a transfer for Kevin Filling. The Kevin Filling. I know. 16-year-old striker could leave AIK. Where did AIK play? Swedish, yeah. As early as this winter, price around him, €3 million. So this seemingly is just United and the next example of United going around and trying to not sweep up the best of what European clubs have to offer in talent, but investing in bringing in some players like that. We've brought in quite a few. And it's whether it's South American markets with Diego Leon or looking towards Africa with Sesko Kone from Mali. Now we're looking towards Sweden. Different scouts, different areas, bringing in the best talented young players. And our young striker department is pretty stacked right now. You've got Cheeto, of course, last season broke through. And then he's gone back into the under-21s. You've got Gabriel Bianchetti, who scored a hat-trick at the weekend for the under-21s. And is he in the Welsh senior team yet? Don't know whether he is. Who have you got lower than that? JJ Gabriel's not really a striker. But one to watch, all right? Just one to watch. It's the first time I've heard his name. And if it develops past that point, then we can do some research into him. Maybe we'll do a video on him explaining a bit about who he was. I did see Diego Leon's goal for the academy. Mate, every time I watch Diego Leon play, I look at him and I'm like, this dude does not want to be a left back. He is the most obvious. Right, I'm progressing through my team. I want to play left wing, but there's someone who's like a bit more. I just can't get in that position. Sod that. I'll play left wing back then. That's the feeling I get every time I watch him play. Naturally, very good, very exciting going forward. And it was a great goal, by the way. If you've not seen it, go and check it out. He gets the ball in his own half. He like drives through the middle, runs past about 4 players, and then dinks it in. Very nice. What are you saying down here? James Scanlon, also in the Gibraltar senior team, yeah. Diego Leon's being moved to central midfielder, says Ant. We'll find out. John saying, is Kone going to get enough opportunities this season? Remember that Sekou Kone fractured his eye socket. That's set him back by a couple of months. So I don't know when he's going to be making his return to the under-21s. But it's unfortunate he set his progress back. Rapid is saying, as a Swede and an AIK fan, I'm really excited about this. That's cool. Welcome aboard, sir. You're saying he scored on his debut, but had an unfortunate injury in the same game, but he's exciting. Cool. Thanks very much for leaving the comment, dude. Definitely one to watch, and if we need to, we'll do some research into him. Who is Elliot Anderson? Says Boris. Remember Boris from GoldenEye? I'm invincible. Man, I love GoldenEye. What a game. N64. I'm reminiscing now. My bad. Have you ever tried a warmer tone on the LED strips? How about that for warmer tones? Should we go back to the red and the white? Unfortunately, I need to go on my phone for this one. You can set them up to do crazy stuff as well. Where is it? No, you can't do it at the same time. That's annoying. I need to set that up again. You can make them go crazy. Really annoying I can't do this from like a button. Because I want to be able to do this. What's that? What's Firefly? Mountain Forest. That looks the same. What about Party? What's that? Christmas Tree. Yeah, the colours are a little bit muted there. Anyway, I'm going to stick to white. But there's a lot more that I can do with those lights. And I've always wanted to link them to like gifted memberships or stuff like that. I think I need to work on it a little bit more. Let's go back to the show. This comes from Samuel Luckhurst. I don't need to click it. I don't want to read the Sun. United are prepared to block players' requests to leave in January due to the impact that AFCON's are going to have on the squad. I really am worried about what's going to be happening with Cobby. I really am. I actually quite liked Cobby's performance when he came off the bench against Brighton. I thought he was tasked with trying to simply slow the game down when you had the ball. Don't just like flick it forward. Don't put the transition passes. Just try and hold it up, pass it sideways, keep possession. But I think if United block a move for him in January, as it stands, the current momentum, Elliot Anderson's going to get in the squad for the World Cup ahead of Cobby. Adam Wharton's... No, I'm not sure about Adam Wharton, actually. 1 second here. My notification's going off. I worry about Cobby, and I would definitely consider loaning him out. I really, really would. Let's send the poll there quickly, but 800 votes are in, and 49% of you think 50 to 60 mil for Elliot Anderson. I don't think United would get it that cheap. Get the Christmas lights up soon, says Andrew. I'm fighting my missus as we type. Hold on here. You've got just over a month before December. There are no Christmas lights going up here. We've got loads of space in here for a pretty cool Christmas tree, though. I'm going to try and do a proper advent calendar giveaway this time, but I bloody need a community manager to help me. Really need to find one. Honestly, it's the hardest position I think that I've found in terms of hiring. Like, we brought in like editors and social media and designers and presenters and this and that, but finding a community manager, really, really difficult. Really difficult. And we see me saying down here, Cobby will not go to the World Cup. Cobby needs to start running like Forest. I don't think Maney was initially good in that game. I think he didn't cover ground fast enough out of his system. I was quite impressed. I thought Cobby had a decent game. John, I can't exactly give a full job spec, all right? Check out my LinkedIn. Maybe a little bit later on today, I will put out a job spec. Jimmy, unfortunately, it's just not quite worked out from... It's not a professional perspective. He's a great guy, but it's just a bit too busy. It's not quite worked out timing-wise. Hopefully, we'll be working with Jimmy again in the future. But just as it stands, it's not quite right. And cancel your house move. This is what you need to do. But no. I've got a few emails yesterday. I will be reading through all of those, I promise. Hey. Tell you what, I might wrap up there and get cracking with the lunchtime video. I was just going to bring up this as a little End of the video. Man, people have been scoring plenty of goals in the Prem this season. We've got 15 in 9. And we're 7th. Second for expected goals. 11th for goals conceded. That's not terrible. 6th for ball recoveries. 4th for duels. You're not allowed to speak about the stats, though. Not allowed to speak about the stats. But I'm enjoying where United are at right now. We've got Forest on Saturday, 3 p.m. kickoff. So plan for the content for the rest of the week. I'll let you know. Lunchtime today, I really want to speak about our summer window. I think that deserves some focus, spotlight, and also speak about what we need to still improve going forward. Tomorrow, the plan is for the Elliot Anderson video to be released. No, not tomorrow. That's Thursday. So Wednesday, not quite sure what that video will be. Friday will be the starting 11 for the Forest game. And make sure you get involved in that one because we're going to be doing a cracking prize with Botano on that one. So yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the show. Please do drop a like on it. If you are new here, make sure you do subscribe. I'll see you soon. Take it easy.